I love love. I really do. And I know the healing power of love. And I love the metaphor of a tapestry for life, for spirituality, and for love. So today's theme is the tapestry of love. But I'd like to start first with a woven tapestry. Now, this is a medieval tapestry, and you can tell the intricate detail that's put into this because they didn't have the distraction of telephones and social media and the internet and the TV and all the opportunities. So they could spend so much time weaving on a big loom, this great, big, beautiful piece of art. And we know it tells a story, or it's beautiful in its own way, but it's got messages that just come out of it that tell us about life and about connection. Now, if we look at a real physical loom, a tapestry being made, it's on different sizes of looms, but one like this is on a giant loom. And the first thing that's put on the loom are the warps. They're long pieces of thread, tough, strong, and neutral in color. They're not to be seen. So they're white or beige or all the same. And they're the foundation of this beautiful tapestry. That's the same with us. The foundation of our life is spirit. It's spirit, and it can't be seen. It's the invisible. And we have to have faith in the invisible if we're truly going to be the spiritual beings having a human experience that we're meant to be. So I want you to feel for a minute, just as if we're a tapestry and our physical body might be the loom or whatever, but we have within us these invisible threads that run vertically that are the strength of who we are. That's who we are. Do you know our mind is designed, our consciousness is designed, so it is ever unfolding, opening, evolving, and reaching for something more. That's how we're designed. We're meant to reach for greater possibilities. That's how we're wired. We don't have to do that. We'll talk to you in a minute. I mean, we want to do that, of course, but we don't always choose to do that. But so that's the tapestry, is that the warps are on first. And then, in order for the artist, now the artist could put those threads on first, but then there has to be a plan, a design, for that tapestry to be born, right? Can you imagine a tapestry that didn't have a pattern to follow or an idea first? It would be a mess. So there's the plan, a divine plan that comes forth and is expressed as the tapestry. It comes forth when all different threads of different colors are. Can you imagine the precision that must be taken as this is created and unfolded? Well, that plan is there to be made manifest through the tapestry. The same goes for us. There is a divine pattern and plan in God's creation. God had a plan. As Einstein said, God doesn't play dice with the universe. There's a plan at work. There's a divine plan, not only in all of creation, but also in each and every one of us. There's a plan for us. Now, this divine plan isn't a blueprint of our life, but it's a sacred blueprint of the highest possibility for us, the highest potential, the things we can reach when we do our spiritual work to tap into that place, to bring it forth. Just like making a beautiful design, our life is a piece of art, and we get to design it as we tap into that plan. Now, the wolf are the little threads that go in, all the different pieces of us that we get to put together and remake and redo if we make a mistake. But we get to put that together to design our life. It's interesting, but Ernest Holmes said, in the realm of spirit, there must be a divine pattern of everything that is. There must be a divine pattern for everything that is. And our mind does have access to these divine patterns. Within us is the unborn possibility of limitless life. And our privilege is to give birth to that. We get to give birth to the new potential, the new possibilities within us. We're all individual, unique, just like every tapestry, every thread there is unique. It's all the uniqueness that we get to share. But our unique potential has a place in the tapestry of life. If we don't live and live fully, we're holding back some of the beauty that life wants to express as us. As us. It was Maya Angelou that said, we should all know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry. We must understand that the threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color, no matter what their thickness, no matter what they all have equal value. We know in the mind of God, there is no size, there is no difference. God doesn't play favorites, so everyone is special. Everyone is perfect. Of course, as humans, we're perfectly imperfect. At least that's my experience. But we get to live that. So why don't we live from that divine plan that's available to us, that divine pattern for our highest potential? Well, God paints, he is the artist, and he paints with love. God is love. And love, that love is the self-givingness of spirit to bless us with the qualities of God within us. We have access to that. That's the self-givingness of spirit, to be filled with creative potential and possibility and knowledge and wisdom inside of us. But also there's the law. He paints with the law. And they're universal laws that are impersonal. Doesn't matter who you are to use the laws. The law of manifestation, the law of cause and effect, the law of cooperation, the law of reciprocity. I mean, we can go on and on, but there's love and there's law that really work in the universe to make it work. But God also sprinkled that with free will. So we have the choice in our life that we can either be weaving our life, we can be weaving love, we can be weaving things together, or we can be tearing things apart. We get that choice. It's all part of our learning experience. All on purpose for us, but we get the choice. And as I told you, we have minds that want to be better when we know better, to evolve and grow. That's the upward spiral of evolution. We want to be able to get on that path, so we're growing and learning and making mistakes. And from the mistakes, we have to get the message. We have to get the meaning of our mistake. I mean, if we turned that tapestry over, what would you see? A mess of a bunch of threads all up in the air that make no sense at all. But you have to turn it over to find the beauty and the meaning. And that's the same with us in our life. We can make a mess of things and make mistakes, and we can go further, deeper, and turn it over and find the meaning and the message of things. When we have pain, pain is a teacher. It's Rumi who says, the wound is where the light, the understanding comes through. But in our pain, we have to find purpose and the possibility in the pain also for us to move forward. We all know that. We've lived it, understand it. So we get to use that pain. And then if we want the beauty of life, not only did God create this mind that was open to greater possibilities, but a mind that is creative, that we can remake and redo things that make a mess. We can take the threads of our thoughts and create new ones. But it's an affirmative side of life. I've got to tell you about this divine pattern in us. It's always affirmative. If you're hearing negative thoughts, do any of you hear negative thoughts up here? How many times a day? How many times a minute? You know, it depends. But the divine plan telling us it could be the next step for us. It could be the whole picture, but it's inside of us. But it's always affirmative. If we're hearing those negative little habitual thoughts that we've been carrying around so long, think of yourself. I mean, they repeat themselves with monotony if we don't catch them. We catch those little negative thoughts and replace them with the thoughts of God, the thoughts of spirit. And that's how we create the tapestry of love. Because if we can catch those negative thoughts and we could say, thank you for sharing, but I no longer need you. And put it in. What spiritual practices do you do? Think about them. Do you read? Do you pray? Do you meditate? Do you contemplate? Do you walk in nature? Do you go to the beach? What is it? What is it that brings you closest to spirit? Because on those threads, they are all commingled together. And that's the way life is supposed to be. That's what we're working towards, is bringing the parts of ourselves together that we can really love our life and weave it with the goodness. Now, I told you we had to have faith in the invisible, because the invisible is where the divine pattern, the highest potential, the goodness of our life resides. When I said we do better when we know better, well, that's when we know better. It will either guide us to the answer or lead us to the person or place or book or thing to give us the answer. Are you noticing lately that answers are coming like this through different ways? Because the veil is very thin right now. And if we open to it, the answer will be there. I know it. It's for us. The universe is always for us and never against us. So I want to tell you what my dear 14th century mystic poet said, and that's not Rumi. Rumi's 13th century. Hafez is 14th century. God said, I am made whole by your life. Each soul completes me. Whenever you feel like, what's the purpose? Why am I here? God said, I am made whole by your life. You matter. You make a difference. You're part of this huge tapestry of life, this beautiful creation that's alive and colorful. When Marianne was reading with her, she had filled with such joy and happiness. She was on the affirmative side of life. And that's where we need to step. When we get into that funky stuff, I matter. I matter, all my flaws and all. I matter because I'm part of this big whole creation of life. And that's so important for each and every one of us to know and accept and become. And when we align our thoughts with God is when we catch the divine pattern. When we align ourselves with truth is when we catch the divine pattern of goodness, of possibility, of interconnectedness. One of the huge parts of creating a tapestry of love in our own life is remembering the interconnectedness of life. Rumi, now he's a 13th century mystic, he said, Sufi mystic, he said, love is the bridge between you and everything else. So whenever you ask a question, the answer is love. That's the right thing to do in any way you can. Doesn't need to express the same way, but that's the thing you need to do. Love is the great adjuster. Love sets things right. When you're feeling this way or this way, love brings the balance into life. And that's where we need to be, and that's what we need to be doing. So interconnectedness and then healing and unity are also another huge factor in the tapestry of love in our life. We need to heal those broken parts of ourselves, because remember when I said we can either be weaving things together or tearing them apart? Usually we're tearing them apart from some unhealed experience, thought, some unhealed something in our life that we haven't made sense out of. So if we feel that, we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. So when we change the way we view ourselves and our place in life, we're going to have a much grander and greater experience. So Ernest Holmes said, every single heart responds to the warmth of love. Do you remember last week when I had everybody put their hand on their heart? And I asked you to bring into mind and heart the face of someone you love and say to that person, I love you. And see what happens to the way your body feels. It feels totally different. Every heart responds to the warmth of love, and love alone can heal the world and enable people to live together in peace and unity. So interconnectedness, focusing on healing and unity. And the last one is each one of us have the responsibility to weave the best version of ourselves we can. We won't be perfect because we're not made that way. We're imperfectly human because we need to learn and grow and understand and make sense of things. I love this I guess I'm on the Sufi mystics today, but I just love what they have to say today about love, because they talk a lot about love because they know that God is love. Here's something else that Hafez says. So this is my challenge to you. We'll see if you can do it. I don't know. He said, everyone you see, say to them, love me. Love me. And I'll just add right here, this wasn't him, but love me in all my perfectly imperfect expressions of myself. Just love me, because I am open to love. I know that if I open to love, I become loving and lovable. And so love me. And then he adds, of course, do not say this out loud, because someone might call the cops. But then he says, still, I want you to think about this and the great pull we have inside of ourselves to connect with other people. Think about that. So even if you don't say it out loud, people can feel that energy of love. They can feel that goodness that unites us together, that can make us step over our differences and appreciate each other and come to a better idea about ourselves and about life. I'll close this morning. One of the beautiful people on our wall, Thich Nhat Hanh, has a center of peace in France, and it's a center for peace. And he created it. And here's something he says about love. He says, through my love for you, this is expansive love. He says, through my love for you, I want to express my love for the whole cosmos, the whole of humanity, and every human being. That's the size of love. That's how big his love is. That's as big as all of our love can be when we feed it and nurture it and love ourselves and others, no matter what. So I just want to say right now, I bless each and every one of you for being here, for being part of the collective consciousness of upliftment, unfoldment, evolution, reaching for a greater good. I thank you for being here, and I want you to know something that comes from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I love you, and I love you always and forever. And so it is. Thank you.